Big up yourself, woman abroad. Real Makai one more time. June 3, 2022, the day of our Lord. Yeah. So, I hear some huffing and puffing in Jamaica by the Maroon about the government. I have nothing against the Maroons, because in each day everyone have to do what suit them. But I would like to remind the Maroon that they side with the British against other black people in 1865, when other Africans slaves were trying to free themselves of the British bondage by running away. It was the Maroons a lot of the time who caught those slaves and bring them back to the plantation, because they were more organized than these slaves. Now these slaves are more organized than the Maroons in Jamaica. So the table have turned. It was the Maroons in 1865 who captured Paul Bogle in Sandycut after he was rebelling against the British government, and take him back for he to be hung. And in the process, hang an innocent man, George William Gordon, who have nothing to do with the rebellion, but because he was a friend of Paul Bogle. So when I hear this brethren from Maroon Town behaving as if they run Jamaica, they must realize that they had a chance to help Jamaica and they didn't, because of their selfishness. Paul Bogle wasn't have to be in a position that he found himself in. That's why he's a natural born hero. Paul Bogle have acres of land, well educated. I think Paul Bogle was even able to vote in a era when there was only a couple hundred Jamaica could be able to vote at that time. He was one of them, because after slavery abolished 1838, right, he was able to get an education and set up himself in a society that hate black people. So he was rebelling not for himself only, but for all the people who was still in oppression by the British government. Well, run by the Jamaican governor. The British government had a Jamaican governor at that time who were oppressing black people. But because the Maroon have a little piece of land on the rock, the worst piece, but they were on the rocks, and they were free, they didn't feel it necessary for other black people to be free. And a lot of people in Jamaica don't talk about this, because they were fighting for their right. Well, when one black man is enslaved, all black man is enslaved. And when one is free, all is free. It is because of the Maroon mentality that's why black people were captured in Africa and sold to white people in bondage, because they only look for their self. So don't bother come talk up on yourself like people forgot those things. Some of us might, but some don't. And we let it lie, because we are all Jamaican. The Maroons are Jamaican, and everybody in Jamaica are Jamaican, who born and grow there. But don't want to go on like you want to push the government. You is not a government by yourself down at the little muck or which part on there. And don't hurt my spirit. Make me have to remember. Yeah, don't let me have to remember the things them that you people did to us. Because I'm not a Maroon, I'm a Jamaican from slavery background. Right? And every time I remember 1865 with old Bogle. Like the Hans says, he doesn't blame the fowl that eat him. He blamed the man who brought him from the bush to the yard. Yes. The Maroon did not have to capture Paul Bogle. Bogle wasn't interfering with the Maroons. Yeah, they didn't have to capture him. But they did it anyway. Because that's their tradition. You know, they feel like they don't look at skin color like how other people does. And the Maroon fight for their rights. And that is all well and good. But don't interfere with other people when they're fighting for their rights. That was the mistake the Maroon made. They may sign a peace treaty with the British. It should have stayed that way. You shouldn't have to allow the British to force on, or you take upon yourself the other part of the peace treaty where any black man or black woman that escape, your job is to catch them and bring them back. What the hell is that all about? Yeah, but that's what it was all about. That's why you get your freedom, because you find it necessary to capture other black people and bring them back. So the British didn't have to do that. Yeah. Well, that is a little history for all those people who jumping up and down about the government and the Maroons. I don't trust the Maroons one bit. Because if they sell you out one time, they will sell you out again. That's my take on it. You might like it or you might not. You might feel that I'm throwing cold water on the resistance of the Maroons. Everyone have a right to live and to be free. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You might not like what I'm saying, but I hope you do. Well, I hope you can see it at my perspective. That is my perspective. You might have a different perspective, but that's what I think. And please, subscribe, like, and share. Have a good morning. It's going to be a hell of a day.